बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम रब्बि ज़िदनी इल्मा.
Now, when we talk about the FTD features, now FTD, as we discussed, the FTD basically supports your native ASA features along with your firepower features. So, which means if I'm using an FTD device, the firepower threat defense device, it do supports my routing. So I can implement the routing just like we did on the ASA, or we used to do it on ASA. Not only that, it will also support your stateful or the stateless packet inspections. So we know stateful and stateless, like applying the ACLs. ACLs also identity-based filtering. They do support. Even most of the ASAs, they started supporting the identity-based access control based on the user accounts. So if you remember in the features, I already explained these things, so I'm not going to repeat them, but it's the same features. Basically, mostly this identity-based filtering is done based on this SGT feature, security group tagging, which is going to classify the user and it's going to associate a tag, and based on the tag, the rules can be defined. So not only that, even if you're using the ASA, you can implement the VPNs. You can configure some side-to-side VPNs by using IKE v1 and IKE v2, or even you can configure some SSL VPN for remote VPN connections, whether it is a client-based or the clientless. You can also configure the NAT, where you can do the translations based on different NAT requirements like static NAT, dynamic NAT, or PAT, or other NAT, advanced NATs like policy-based NAT options. So most of the native ASA features, what we know or what we have been using on the ASA, the same features are again supported, because we are going to use the unified code which supports the ASA as well as the firepower services. So not only that, they do support the next generation features. Now, next generation feature, one of the main feature of the Cisco Firepower is providing a next generation IPS. So basically in next generation IPS, it's going to provide a protection against your advanced threats or advanced threats kind of thing. So which will provide more kind of IPS along with additional benefits. And not only that, it's also provide you the application visibility control, where you can define the rules and say that the specific application should be permitted or denied. We can also do that. That is more of application visibility control. We can also do URL filtering, where we can filter the URLs, or we can filter the specific applications inside the URLs. Those kind of things we can do. Even web filtering, not only URL filtering, we can also do web filtering as well, where you can filter the specific websites based on the predefined categories. So those also will be there. We call it as a reputation filtering. Now, reputation filtering is kind of a rating. Like there is a website xyz.com, it's listed as a bad website in terms of rating. So those will automatically get blocked. Or you can manually configure some policies or the rules to define which websites or which URLs or which categories should be allowed or denied. So you have a predefined categories. We can select those predefined categories and we can define the rules according to that. Additionally, it provides advanced malware protection. Now, the advanced malware protection, as already said, with advanced malware protection, we can monitor, analyze the traffic or any specific activity and the communication on the endpoints or on the mobile devices as well in the network, so that we can quickly figure out the threat, and we can figure out any kind of suspicious or any kind of malicious behavior. So it's going to do that based on some options. It's going to use some kind of sandboxing. Now, sandboxing, as I said, it's going to simulate the traffic flow, and then it's going to verify the behavior of the traffic flow in different applications and different browsers. And it's going to constantly trace those processes, and it's going to constantly check the activity and figure out if there is any kind of infection. And if it is an infection, probably it's going to also figure out any kind of root causes and provide some remediation. Remediation is like solution. So with the help of advanced malware protection, we have a one-point anti-malware detection service and blocking. And this is done based on a continuous basis. It's not like it's going to do only when the packet enters. It's going to do when the packet enters and when the packet is moving in the network. Even after the packet is being sent, it's going to continuously monitor that particular activity. So most of the FTD supports these features. Like most of the next generation features, what we have discussed, so most of the features are listed, which are required as per the today's market requirements.